He's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love, love.
Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. And this is another edition of Car Conversations or Jay Lee's Corner. I like how I say that. You know, it took me a while to figure out how to say hello, 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 everyone. It took a minute for me to make that my, you know what I'm saying, the opening to my channel. So, you know, after doing a couple of car conversations, I'm glad I figured out how to say it just to make it be unique. Okay, so I hope everybody's having a great Friday. I am here riding to work as usual. And I, you know, was like, what do I want to talk about today on the ride to work? So I was watching The Breakfast. Oh, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. And then don't forget to also hit the notification button to let you know when I have new videos up. I have a whole bunch of uploads on my channel, so go ahead and look around, watch around, you know, like around, share around, all that goodness. And it'll be very much appreciated. So yeah, I was watching The Breakfast Club this morning. You know, they had Xscape on there, all four ladies plus Jermaine Dupri, because they're doing a So Def tour, like with all of the artists who was on the label and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, that's really, really cool. And so the ladies were on there, and, you know, I feel like sometimes this is the reason why artists don't like to go on radio shows, because, you know, we know Xscape had all their issues back in the day between Candy and Tamika, not Tiny, but the girl Tamika. But they've since then been able to bury the hatchet, move on, tour, all that stuff. Had a whole reality show that we love, that I still hope is coming back for a second season, but we don't know about that. But maybe it will, because it was on tour before. They're doing another tour now. So I'm hoping in some kind of way that reality show they had with the girls will come back. But, you know, they kept asking them little stuff. You know, like, do y'all trust each other? Which made them kind of like, well, what do you mean, do we trust you? Like, I was like, why y'all messing with them people? But the part that's kind of stuck out to me was, you know, they was asking them why Candy decided to not make new music with the other ladies. And I liked Candy's response as to what she said. She was like, you know, I just feel like I have my little frozen water, so it's, you know, unthawing and stuff like that. Freeze you a whole big old thing of water and take it with you to work, and then as it unthaws throughout the whole day, you will always have ice cold water. Don't forget that, people. Anyway, so Candy said the reason that she did not want to do new music with the girls was for a couple different reasons. She said, well, for one, when you're doing stuff with 3 other people, so it's 4 people in total, you know, everyone has to agree. You have to get everyone on the same page, and sometimes that can be difficult. Sometimes everybody might not agree. And so she was like, so it's easier for me, because I do like being in control of my own stuff, for me not to do that now. And I agree with that. I think people have to realize, even if you were in a group and y'all have made songs in the past, it does not mean that you want to make new stuff with them because you've been on your own for so long. I think people forget that Candy, the group broke up so many years ago, and Candy has gone on to make her own music, write her own music, write for other people. You know, she's carved a lane for herself, and she's been able to be her own boss. So it's hard to go from being your own boss and basically doing whatever you want to do, to then having to make new music, new deals with 3 other people. And feel like you have to bend if they want something that you don't want, or if you want something they don't want. That can be difficult. And I feel like with them getting back on the same page, she was smart. Because why start new beef? You know, if we're talking about our old hits, ain't nothing else to discuss. You know what I'm saying? We own what we own, or we can sing what we can sing. But if we're having to make new stuff, that's a whole different situation. That could be a whole different argument. JD even brought up how she said before that she also didn't want to be pigeonholed to how successful their music was in the past to how successful new music will be in the present. And that's also something. Oh, what the police doing? No, that's me this time, because I ain't read no lights or nothing. So the police ain't, well, they never been after me, I was just saying. But no, so I like how she said that. That she mentioned that, and that JD brought it up, and then she emphasized. But I think that too, because think about this. Xscape Soul was like multi-platinum back in the day, and she said like back then, people, you would put out an album and you would have multi-platinum hits. Like that's what would happen, and she's like, that don't happen now. The music industry is different now, and that's true. But I feel like in some sort of way, the way they're asking the question could cause tension, because you kind of seen when they were talking, like, what I'm saying, at one point I seen Tasha's face look a little screwed up, because I think she felt like it was being implied that their new music didn't sell good, or wouldn't sell good, or how Candy maybe possibly did not have not good intent, but she didn't believe in them. And I don't think that's true at all. I think what Candy said was realistic from a musical business standpoint. The amount of albums that Xscape sold in the 90s and the 2000s would not sell like that now. The albums that Beyonce sold in the 2000s ain't, I'm saying? Every artist has took a hit. Nicki Minaj, all of them have took a hit in how music is purchased now. It's just different. It takes longer to get bigger hits. And let's be honest, when Xscape first said they were gonna come back out with some new music, even I said, do we need new music from Xscape? Like, do we need that? And on one level, I feel like I hate when bugs fly outside my car. It's OB. But yeah, I don't think we needed that. I listened to, I think I listened to that EP, and it didn't move me enough to like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, it was cool, but I was like, okay. But if you ask me if I go to their concert, what I want to hear the old hits. But I say that about a lot of older artists who have all these hits they've written before, and they try to keep writing new stuff, but the new stuff kind of be like, we don't really need that or whatever. So it's always a hit or miss. Like, I feel like eventually Beyonce needs to stop making albums, because girl, you got enough hits to keep touring if you need to. But some people do need to be creative in order to live and be happy. I think Beyonce is a creative person. But I feel like anybody who's been I'm saying this, anyone who's been on hiatus for like 15 years, okay, because Xscape was gone for a good 15, 16 years. Like, it was a long time. I think it may have been 18, however long it was. I felt like, okay, at this point in time, there's no need for new albums. I don't want a new album from New Edition. I don't want a new album from Mint Condition. I don't want a new album from Jodeci. I don't want a new album from certain artists who have been out the spotlight for so long. But I do want to hear their old hits. I think there's nothing wrong with a seasoned artist who has old hits, a whole bunch of hits, performing their hits. I think that's the way to keep making the money and keep going. But sometimes Candy was right. Sometimes when you come back, when you try to do a comeback, you tarnish your old gold, or you tarnish your brand or your image, because you came out on your record went wood. You know what I'm saying? Woody Pecker. What's his name? Woody Woodpecker. That's what it goes. It goes wood. So it's like, I wouldn't want to do that. And so her being honest and saying, I just didn't want to come out and have our record tarnished. But if I do my own stuff, it's only on me, and I don't have to worry about other people and their ideas. And I agree with that. We did see how Tiny, Tamika, and Tasha was like, it wasn't about how many records we sold. It was more about us just making the music, and that's fine. And I don't think Candy was saying like they doing it to sell records. I think her point was, even if you're not doing it to sell records, people will still say, well, back in 1998, you know what I'm saying, their album sold, 1 million copies in a week. They did this and this sold 2 copies, okay? And that's weird because it's 3 members. So it's that kind of thing of, you have to, oh, it's block over here. Well, I need to get over, so y'all need to move. Thank you. Get out of my way. Thank you. So nice. Anyway, y'all know I'm tripping when I'm driving to work. So yeah, but the interview was about 30-ish minutes or whatever. They also brought up Bow Wow and his. Oh, I guess I'll talk about that too. So they brought up Bow Wow, but I will say this. I think Xscape's tour will always be good. I think the ladies will be good, but I did not like how some of the. Well, that's how the Breakfast Club be sometimes. But I like the Breakfast Club and I watch it all the time. But yeah, I didn't like how some of the questions can make them kind of maybe stir up some old things. Anyway. They brought up Bow Wow too, and JD brought up how he don't even follow Bow Wow on social media, because he puts crazy stuff. But they asked him about, the fact that Bow Wow put up that he, back in the day, or at least back in like 2007, I think he said, how he was addicted to lean and was smoking like $2,000 or $2,500 worth of weed a week and all these things. I saw that, and at first I wasn't going to address it at all because I'm looking like, what is he talking about? He did it after the whole Mac Miller passing away thing and how drugs is this and drugs is that. JD today said, he has always been about his life, and he said for him, he said, I've never seen Bow Wow high. I've never seen Bow Wow do drugs. Let me not misquote. He did not say I've never seen Bow Wow high. He says, I've never seen Bow Wow do drugs around me. I've never seen that. So, that I can't attest to. I've never seen him do drugs. I think what he meant by that was sometimes if you are around a person and you see them do drugs, how do you not try to intervene, basically? So I guess what he was saying was Bow Wow was smart enough to never do drugs around me. So if he's coming out publicly saying that he was addicted to these drugs back then, it wasn't when I was around. That's what I got him saying. If he was on drugs at whatever point in his life, it was a time when I was not around him because he's never been around me on drugs. When I first heard that Bow Wow said it, when I saw the little tweet that he put out, I felt bad because I cracked a joke in my head, but I always kind of do that when certain people put out tweets, especially Bow Wow, because he always just be extra about stuff sometimes, and it's like I never know if I should take him serious, and you don't want to not take a person who may have mental issues or drug issues not serious, because if he calling out for help, you don't want to ignore it to the point to where he feel like, a person feel like, well, I've been calling out for help and everybody's ignoring me and they fuck around and kill themselves. So that'd be the bad thing. But when I first heard him say he was so high off lean, I saw him post a little video of him, and I think it was him and Omarion back in the day when they had that little joint album thing, and he was all yelling and stuff. He said, yeah, I was, high off lean back then, and I was always getting high off lean, and I was smoking weed, and this is what I said to myself. I said, I've never seen a person on lean have so much energy. I've never seen a person on lean be talking so fast, and or whenever I've seen someone on lean, they leaning around. They don't have much energy. They're very laxed. Okay, I feel like lean slows you down. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had a cousin who was doing lean. Pissed me off. I was like, dude, are you stupid? One of my cousins from out of town. And when he brought up he did it or whatever, and I was like, you stupid. But even when I would see him talking or whatever, it was real laid back. It was never just, it was never that. And so I feel like, well, was you really on lean? So that's what I say about stuff he say and do. It makes me question, did he really do it? Because I've just never seen a person on lean not slow down. Okay? I feel like people who I've seen on lean acts as if their whole life is in slow motion. And so everything they do is a little bit slower. And I've never seen Bow Wow at a point where he was sitting, like he just didn't seem on lean to me. Do I think he probably smoked weed over the years? I think he do. We've seen him smoke weed on the growing up hip hop. So I think we've seen that already. So I just didn't want him. So I understood JD saying he's never done drugs around me. But I also like how he brought up, you know, he was saying how people be talking about Bow Wow this and Bow Wow that or whatnot, and about his and Bow's relationship and what he has or has not done for him. And he said, think about things. You have never heard about Bow Wow in trouble. Bow Wow has never been arrested. He's never had no allegations against him. He's never had all these things that other celebrity people who were his age had to go through in life. So to a certain extent, he said, because I was around him that whole time. And I didn't think about that. I did not think about that. There are a few artists who can say they are, you know, scandal free. That's why I feel like, well, hell, as about now, Bow Wow be like making himself a scandal with his antics. So I'm looking like, well, yeah, he might have not had things done then, but he's showing up having things done now. So it was an interesting interview. I'll say that. Yeah, it was about 30 minutes long. Because they on the whole little tour thing. So again, I didn't like how they kind of made the ladies talk about little stuff that I felt like it could be an issue. Because because they, even though they're cool and they're adults now and they're grown and they're doing tours or whatever, it's still a way to where, you can ask a person a question like, why don't y'all do music? And then the person responsible, I didn't want to not sell no albums that could piss off the people who made the songs and ain't sell no damn albums. And then they have to defend it and say, well, we weren't trying to sell the albums. We were just trying to make music. Well, okay, if you say so. But yeah, go ahead and watch the interview if you have time. It was, educational. I do think I may want to go to the tour. Well, no, I ain't gonna go to their tour because, as they said, like, the tour won't be like, it won't be like, okay, Xscape has their set, Bow Wow has his set, The Brat has her set, Jagged Edge has his set, or whatever. He said it's going to be a full concert of each artist that's going on back to back to back, and this performing their number one hits. And sometimes I don't want to go back and forth. I think it would be enjoyable. I really, really do. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like, I'm just worried about concerts. And I also do not like loud music. So that's a big reason as to why I don't go to concerts, because loud music irks my nerves. And so even if I love an artist, I probably would not go to their concert. I think the last concert I went to was a freaking Immature concert. It was at Shane Park a long time ago. And even then, when I was a teenager, and even then I was like, this music is so loud. Like, and I've been to I've been to a concert since then too. That's when I can remember. And I was like, but every time I went, it was just too loud for me. Yeah, it's too much noise, and it has to be loud, and I get that, and I'm just like, no, so it's not for me. I'll buy my artist music, and I can do it that way, and I can see them in concert, because all artists now put their damn concerts and stuff on TV or on YouTube or on whatever. I can always see it on social media. But yeah, so that's all I got for y'all today. I'm almost at work. Almost. It's basically 1 o'clock. So y'all know I'll be there until forever. Well, no, I'm going home not until forever. But I hope everyone has a great Friday. I'm going to be coming up with other topics to talk about. If y'all have other conversations y'all want me to have in the car, go ahead and put that in the comment section. I'm always open to suggestions of people, but y'all seem to be liking these car conversation things, so I'm going to keep doing them. And then for me too, it's cool to be in a different realm of my videos, so I don't mind the car ones, so we gonna see. And it's more raw for me because I can't, I don't have any notes. Does not take the damn long to pull in the driveway. So yeah, it's just a way of me talking, and and I think y'all like it when I'm just gonna go off on my little tangents. So thanks for tuning in. Anyway, have a good. I will be live tonight on my YouTube at 10 o'clock, well 10-ish, because I ain't gonna get out work until 9. So I'll be, I'd like to get home and like unwind and just kind of don't say nothing. So about 10:05, okay, I'll be on live. So I hope to see y'all all there. Get your questions together. Okay, remember, always tip your waiter. Anyway, okay, that's the last one I'm going to say, y'all. Bye. Peace.